fils de Grenoble, j'ai pas dit ça, c'est un fils de Grenoble rugby, alors oh, a very long time ago, holy hell. I've played rugby my whole life. Started at under sixes. Always, you know, I mean, like back growing up, like the Queensland Reds were my, you know, I mean, they were my idols, the guys I looked up to. And yeah, so finished school, went straight into a professional program with the Reds, and yeah, that was the first season of what it was called ARC. It's now called NRC.
What are you, Wikipedia?
They had basically an east, like I guess an East Coast team and a north of the river team, which was like, yeah, so it was a premier, my first sort of team, and got to play with like a lot of the Reds guys, Chris Latham, who was one of my heroes, a lot of, you know, I mean, a lot of good guys. And it was my first real taste of professional rugby, I guess. Yeah, so yeah, that year I think was it 2007? Yeah, so was sort of on the fringe of like super rugby, and yeah, the sevens sort of gave me a go, and it was actually a really good launch pad for me, because a lot of people got to see my attacking flair, and you know, I mean, I love to run with the ball, love to play at the ball, and sevens allowed me to sort of do that and show that off. And after that, you know, I mean, it really boarded me into the Red stuff and super rugby after that. I was, as I sort of said, they were the Reds was my team growing up. I always, you know, I wanted to play for the Reds, and to get the chance to do it was huge. And I think I had in the end 80 something or 90 games. And yeah, so I mean, I loved every time, and I've played a number of positions throughout my career. But yeah, started off, I think I was at started off at number 9. But yeah, love that, every minute of it. Yeah, so 2014 I think was my first go there, and love France. As I've said many times, I love the passion of French rugby, and you know, everything from the supporters to, you know, to the players and everything. It's I think there's a good mentality here within the rugby to play and use the ball, and I mean, sometimes you can't always do that in rugby, and that's just the way it is. But I think that's what we, you know, when we go onto the pitch and we go out to play rugby and to have fun, and that's something I really enjoyed. And I guess also just the people and the passion around rugby, and in Montpellier it was fantastic. And I mean, I've said to many, like, I always remember coming to Grenoble and knowing it was going to be a tough match, because, you know, I mean, it was always tough teams, and you know, I mean, the crowd was always hostile. And yeah, I don't remember a lot of it, but because I got knocked out in it. But no, that's part of rugby. I mean, you go out, you play hard, and sometimes you cop a knock or whatever. But it was always tough coming up here, and especially in the cold. I think it snowed we had to wait like half an hour or 45 minutes to start the game, because I had to clean off all the snow. But and that's another thing about that. I mean, I've never had to experience that sort of stuff before. It was you know, I mean, coming to Europe, and sort of that's something you don't deal with in Australia, and playing in the Super Rugby competition. But yeah, I mean, it was all good fun. Yeah, so I actually was 2 seasons. I didn't play much the second season, because I mean, sort of, it was Jake White came and sort of brought his South African players, and
is that possible?
Sort of didn't have much time for me, but that's just the way it is. Yeah, so I didn't play really much the second season, only really played the first season, but enjoyed it. It was a completely different culture from France, and yeah, learn a few things, and had my twin, that's where my family started. Had my twin boys were born there, so that was beautiful. And yeah, and then after that, obviously back at the Reds for a year, another hit out, which I loved. I mean, that's, you know, I mean, it's always been a home for me, the Reds, and it always will be. It's my childhood team, and it's my, you know, the team I've played the most rugby for. So yeah, so No, I was on the bench for 2 games and never got my cap, but I loved the experience. Got to sort of go away to the end of the spring tour when I got close, but that's just the way it is. Not quite close enough. I think probably 10, not 9 and 10 of my. You know, what I mean, I've always that's sort of. I mean, as far as my characteristics, what I'm good at, I really like 10 in France. You have a lot more control of the game, and you get to sort of touch the ball a lot, and so I really like that aspect of it. But I love playing and helping the team where I can. So if it needs to be at 15 or at 12, you know, I don't mind. Well, yeah, sort of. I was gonna actually stay in the Reds for another year, but then got obviously with you guys' promotion. There was a chance for me here, and I've known Steph from Montpellier, and obviously got along very well with him there. I mean, he knows how I play, and I know how he likes to play. So that was obviously a good aspect. And I mean, with getting a chance to come back to France, because it's getting harder and harder with the GIF cap and it.
Tout comprendre sur les GIFs.
So it's getting harder to get here, but I mean, I loved it before, and as I sort of said, I love the way the French play and the passion in their rugby. So I was always, and with my wife being French, it was always a big option, and when it came up with FCG and Grenoble, I was like, yes. Oui, on parle un peu, mais je vois lui quand j'arrive. Lucas, j'aime vraiment lui. Il est un bon mec et un bon caractère. Il est un fils de Grenoble. Je peux dire ça, c'est un fils de Grenoble rugby. Alors, oui, j'espère qu'ils vont montrer un peu de choses et dis-moi, fais ça, fais pas ça et toutes les choses comme ça. Mais moi, j'aime bien Lucas.
East Coast Aces.
Ouais.
Long time ago.
Oh, a very long time ago. Holy hell.